Hello and welcome to Be My Guest. I'm very excited tonight because I'm together with a great designer, Henrik FISKER, live from the Paris Motor Show. Hello,
Very nice
Henrik.
to be here. Very nice to be here.
Very nice to meet you too. You're very well known, of course, soon for that car that we're going to show, but for BMW Z8, for Aston Martin DB9, V8 Vantage. So all very nice cars. And my ultimate crush was the Karma. I literally fell in love with it. I was lucky to drive it as well. It was such a wonderful car. And today you're presenting here in Paris the SUV, the most sustainable SUV in the world, the FISKER Ocean.
Correct.
So why is it the most sustainable SUV in the world?
So actually what we did was I said the same thing to my people. I said we need to be able to prove that it is the most sustainable, and we spent a lot of time creating, for example, this interior was a vegan interior. A lot of recycled materials, for example, plastic bottles from the ocean that is taken out and then recycled into newer materials. So what we calculated out is that we have about 50 kilos of recycled and biodegradable materials all over in the ocean, in the car. And that is almost double of what anybody else that we know is using in their cars. So we know that it's the most sustainable. On top of that, the car is manufactured in Austria in a carbon neutral factory.
Magna Steyr.
Magna Steyr. And then we also have the solar roof here, which can give you 3,000 free kilometers a year in sort of average good conditions. So all the stuff that we have done, we can really calculate that this is the world's most sustainable car.
Let's go back to Magna Steyr. Magna Steyr is a zero-emission factory in Austria. They produce the I-Pace, Jaguar I-Pace. They produce the Mercedes
G-Wagon, yeah.
G-Wagon as well.
And BMW 5 Series.
So it's a very serious company.
Yeah.
So you're only working with very serious people, right?
Correct. We try. They can be fun too, but they got to do good work. No, so they are. You know, the reason that we went to Magna simply is because we wanted to deliver a high quality car. And my idea for a business model was a little bit like Apple. Apple designed their phones and tablets. They own all the IP. They create the software, but they don't manufacture their own products. And so we are doing the same. We design all our software. We engineer the car. We design the car. But we then have Magna manufacture it because they do high quality manufacturing. So that's kind of our business model.
So this is a full electric car.
Full electric car. This particular one has 630 kilometer range, which is the longest in our segment, in our price segment for an SUV, a crossover. It has two motors, so four-wheel drive, torque vectoring, 540 horsepower. Can go 0 to 100 in 3.9 seconds if you need to,
wow.
if you're in a hurry. And it's priced between 41,900 euro and 69,000 euro in France.
So it's rather reasonable for such a car.
I think it's a very reasonable price, and what we tried to do was bring the price down by really avoiding all the middlemen. So we sell direct. You order a vehicle on the website. We already have 61,000 reservations. And then we will deliver to you at home for an extra price, or you pick it up at one of our big delivery centers. We call them Center Plus, outside the big cities. We are right now finalizing a place here in France, outside Paris. We will have one in southern France later. We will then have showrooms inside, for example, Paris, where you can go and see the car, sit in it, and then you can book a test drive.
How many cars are you planning on producing each year?
Next year, 40 to 50,000 vehicles. So we are definitely sold out for next year because we got 61,000 reservations. But then we are aiming to increase that in 2024 and potentially also produce this car in the US so we can separate Europe and US production.
Will you be able to deliver on time? You know that all the car makers are encountering, are facing a lot of problems with a lot of parts in the car that are not available.
Yeah, so we actually have worked really closely with our suppliers, and so far we will be able to start production on the 17th of November. We are still planning to start deliveries in first quarter next year, also here in France. So we are so far on time. As you know, we have been able to solve all the issues we have, mainly because we have designed new chips, or we have used new chips for our design in the vehicle, and we worked very long with our suppliers. We also have a unique supply chain because, for example, many of these materials are not typical car materials. They're taken from other industries.
We're going to show them later.
Yeah.
Yes, but true. And you said recycled for most of them.
Recycled. So it's a lot of materials that the car makers are not using.
So that's a reason you can deliver on time.
Yeah, exactly.
So let's take a look at the car now. So we have that huge screen, and it's a swiveling screen, right?
It's a swiveling screen that you actually press the button here and it swivels.
Wow.
So when you are sitting charging, you can play a game or you can watch a movie, which is kind of cool. And then when you're driving, it swivels back. And I think this is also because this is better for the actual usability of the vehicle. You can reach all the corners when it's in this position versus the other position. We have designed everything here, even the icons we designed. You can configure this around. Up here you got the ADAS for the self-driving, and then of course you have the different things that you can do in the car. Of course you got the big map, and down here you have your music. And then on the very bottom you still have normal, you can see here you have normal buttons that you can use, because these are the buttons you use every day. So you want to be able to quickly do something here, like move up and down the sound or move up and down here. Then of course you got your different apps in here as well. And you always have what we call a mini map. So the map never disappears, it just gets smaller up here. And I think that's an important point. The other thing that we did here in the dash, normally everybody puts a glove compartment here, but we put it under the seats. So here you actually have a nice tray, which you can put a computer or something on.
Nice.
And work on, or you can eat some food from there. Then in here you got holders for phones, which is inductive charging.
Uh-huh.
And then inside here, we have another tray, which folds out just like in your business class seat.
Oh.
Which you can also use and actually either use for an iPad or a computer or whatever. We found a lot of people like to use their car now almost as an office, which is very interesting.
True.
And then in the back, you can see in the center console, we can actually control some of the features from the back seat.
Uh-oh.
Which we can disable if you have kids that you don't want to play around with it. You can also move the rear seats down to tilt more if you want to relax. There's some buttons on the side. And then of course you can see our solar roof here.
The solar roof, this is something
which
really.
Is very cool. It gives you about 3,000 kilometers free a year, and it's free, clean energy, which is very cool.
Very nice. And it's very, very roomy in the back.
Very roomy. That's because for an electric car, we were able to move a lot of the electronics out under the hood and then stretch a little bit the interior, because we don't have a gas tank, of course, in the rear that you have to sit on top of. So you could move the rear seats a little further back. So generally you have a lot of room probably this car has the room of a size bigger car. This is sort of a mid-size SUV. But it probably has room for even more room than you would have in a normal gasoline mid-size SUV.
You chose to have a specific distribution here in France, and it's Agilauto, a subsidiary of Crédit Agricole Consumer Finance, who has the exclusive sell.
No, they don't have the exclusive sell. They have bought certain amount of vehicles that they will be mainly selling and distributing to their own employees. But we sell direct to customers here. So you can go and reserve our car on fiskerinc.com website. We will then deliver it to you either at home if you pay a little extra, or you come to our distribution center outside Paris and pick it up. And for service, we pick up the car for you, or we have a mobile service technician that comes to wherever you are and fix the car. So we do both. We do really direct sales, and that's how we are able to take a lot of cost out of the whole delivery process, which normally with dealers and infrastructure, in this case might add 15,000 euro to a car, but in our case we're able to keep the pricing low because we don't have all this distribution cost.
And how does it work with repairing? Do you work with specific?
We will have a big repair center outside. So for bigger repairs, we will pick up the car, repair it there. If it's smaller repair, we have our own mobile fleet with basically repair trucks that comes to where, if you're at home or your office, repair the car. Or we do over-the-air updates. And we also have a service network of repair shops and collision shops that have been approved. But you won't go there, we will take the car. Of course, if you have a own car accident, a collision, you will take it yourself to a collision place. But if it's repaired, we take care of it.
Okay, so we're going to get out of the car to take a look at it.
All right, let's do it. Bonjour. Oops.
Now let's take a look at the outside.
Yeah.
Really love the front of the car.
It's a very sporty, powerful front, which have a very unique grille that slowly closes as you move up. You see it gets smaller, smaller, and end for aerodynamic reasons. So we only open up what you need. Here's the digital radar. And then up here we got really slim headlights and a very, very sporty sculpture around the wheels, 20 and 22-inch wheels. We also have what we call an aero curtain. That's for aerodynamics. Air comes in here and gets pushed out, and that means the air flows this way and again flows in here and out. So that's for aerodynamic reasons. And if you see here, there's a very big sculpture around also the rear fender. So it's very sporty, very powerful, the look. And then here at the rear, we got very thin tail lamps. And of course we got light in the logo, but only when you turn on the car, because you're not legally allowed to have this while you're driving.
Really?
And then up here you can see, if you look up, you can see a very, very cool solar roof.
Oh, this is really cool. Very nice. Absolutely beautiful. Can we see the trunk as well?
Yeah.
How long is the car? It's
4 meter 78. 4,780 millimeter.
And
so it's got a fairly big trunk. So for the size in the market, we got a little extra room here underneath.
Beautiful.
So there's an electric truck.
So can't wait until November to try it on the Paris road. Thank you. Yeah. Thanks a lot for this interview and
Absolutely.
Congratulations on the FISKER Ocean. What is the next step? I heard of 2 other models.
Well, we have one car called the Pair, which is going to be smaller, under 30,000 euro, and then we got a supercar, a very cool, sexy car, successor to the FISKER Karma. It's going to be very beautiful.
Can't wait.
That's going to come in 20. These 2 other cars come in 24.
Looking forward to them.
All right, thank you.
Thank you, Henrik.
Good to meet you.
Good to meet you too.